Ohio state representatives are now calling for the firing of a state official after a veteran's mic was cut off as he was talking about the contributions of Black people in creating the Memorial Day holiday. Now we have a video that shows that moment. This is veteran Army Lieutenant Colonel Bernard Kempter delivering the speech. Watch what happens.
Holiday is rooted in a moving ceremony. It was conducted by freed slaves on May 1st, 1865, at the tattered remains of a Confederate prisoner of war camp. It was a Charleston, Washington racecourse and jockey club, today known as Hampton Park. The ceremony is believed to have included a parade of as many as 10,000 people, including 3,000 African-American school children singing the Union marching song, John Brown's Body. They were carrying armfuls of flowers and went to decorated the graves. Interesting that there would be a tie back to Hudson with that song from John Brown. Most importantly, whether Charleston's Decoration Day was the first is attended by Charleston's Black community.
Mike.
AJ, Mike. We'll continue on. This is why you moved in closer so you can hear this.
Okay, so when you watch that video, you might think, oh, I mean, technical glitches happen. The mic probably cut off because of some sort of technical issue. But the official who was part of this event, organizing, putting this event together, actually admitted to cutting the mic. So let me give you the details. The Akron Beacon Journal reported that the organizer for the event, Cindy Shuhan, confirmed to the outlet that she and other organizers had the audio cut, but would not confirm who. She then said that the microphone was cut because that part of the speech, quote, was not relevant to our program for the day, and that the, quote, theme of the day was honoring Hudson veterans. She just admitted it. She's just like, yeah. We cut his mic. We didn't like what he was saying. It's amazing. I mean, what do you guys think of this?
The audacity. The audacity. High-ranking, retired military official. He obviously is invited to come and speak. And as he is speaking, he says a word that raises a red flag: black. As soon as he said black, their ears percolated. And he was telling the truth. What was the truth? The truth is Black people created the first Memorial Day celebration or memorial celebration because they memorialized soldiers that had been forgotten or individuals who were in the ground. And they decided to do that. It was a great sentiment. I've talked about this on my radio show. It is something that's common knowledge, right? So this military official decides to say exactly what he wanted to say. That's how things like this go. But the fact that the official admitted to cutting this person's mic, and now you have lawmakers calling for the firing of this official, but the official is still employed. The official is still there. This is, once again, it goes back to this prohibition on teaching the reality of racism in America. And this guy wasn't even talking about this in a racial manner. He was simply giving you a factual story. And his mic gets cut because one of the organizers says, oh, I don't care about that part of actual history in America, and I don't give a damn that we invited you, nor do I actually care about the US military or soldiers or veterans or your high rank. I don't care about any of that. I care about my own personal philosophical narrative, and you are now adversarial to that, so I should cut your microphone.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You know, Francesca,
there was an agenda.
It was. And I wanted to ask you, Francesca, about the brouhaha regarding Kamala Harris in regard to Memorial Day, right? How conservatives lost their minds because she said something super benign on social media about enjoy your long weekend or something like that, right? Like just a non-controversy, just reminiscent of Obama's tan suit. But when it comes to situations like this, like literally cutting off a veteran's mic, nothing. crickets, no problem at all.
Yeah, no, and look, I am someone who, when Memorial Day or Veterans Day rolls around, I am flooded with thoughts of all the senseless wars, of the fact that our VA is in shambles, of the number of suicides that, from service people who are not taken care of when they come home. So I'm flooded with all of that, but actually, like Mother's Day has also an anti-war and really amazing history. Memorial Day actually has a really beautiful history, and it is very telling that. And it is very revealing that it is about the Civil War and it is about the North's victory over the Confederacy that is so triggering to this day for, I'm gonna guess the person who pulled the mic was white, but for a system of white supremacy that cannot look at its own history, even accurately, even looking and celebrating the North's victory. Suddenly, are we like tiptoeing around Confederate feelings here?
Yes.
Is this Confederate fragility? Like, we are.
Yes.
We literally are. And so, like, man, and this is the party that wants us to steer us in this, like, toward another Civil War, fight. And by the way, they'll lose again. But I just want to celebrate this veteran for bringing up that history, how beautiful it is, and how powerful that moment in our nation's history is. And at a time when schools across this country are being told to not teach this kind of history because it happens to be, the protagonists happen to be freed slaves, they happen to be African Americans, then this is a radical act to reclaim that.
But this official who organized the event just wants you to know that that wasn't the point of the event. We weren't supposed to be honoring them. We weren't supposed to be honoring them. We're supposed to be honoring the Hudson veterans. We're supposed to be honoring the people who don't in any way insult their sensibilities, right? And if you take a moment just to celebrate soldiers, veterans, anyone who doesn't fall under an identity that they're happy to celebrate, then they'll go ahead and cut your mic. Doesn't matter if you're a decorated veteran, doesn't matter if it's someone they allegedly respect. They'll immediately cut their mic. And remember, the Republican Party has a lot to say about free speech and about censorship on social media. But just be super skeptical of the ones who scream the loudest about that, because when push comes to shove and they get to make decisions about what to censor and what not to censor, they do censor things they don't like. They censor speech they don't like. They censor commentary or thoughts or beliefs that just contradict.
Soda pop.
Yeah, they're predisposed notions.
Thanks for watching the Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.